Hey guys, you know that I love to find new emerging trends and great deals on sports cards, but I can't afford to invest in everything I find, nor do I have the time or desire to do so. But what I want to do is bring you some of the deals that I'm finding every week, and I want to make sure it's backed by data. So I'll be looking at tools such as Card Ladder and Market Movers, showing you what I'm finding so that you could apply your own reasoning, your own strategy to it, and make a better sports card investment. In this video, I'll be showing you the players that have dropped the most over the last week, 2 weeks, and even month to see what's on sale and if this is a good time to buy low so we could sell high in the future. Welcome back. Now let's get to work. First things first, if you take a look here, I am on Market Movers, my new little toy, and on the top right you see filter by grade. I wanted to make sure that I show you only data from graded cards, and that's because using eBay's data tool, people upload really crappy pictures, people upload cards that have dinged corners and scratches, and that's going to really throw off the range of value of a raw card. So it's just a lot easier to compare graded cards versus other graded cards. So the first thing I want to show you here is the players that have dropped the most in the NBA over the last 7 days. And you see Jonathan Isaac, Markelle Fultz, Stockton, Zion has gone down, Anthony Simmons, Dennis Rodman. The one thing I notice here is if you look at these players and then if we go over to the last 14 days, you see that no one on this list except I'd say Dwight Howard and James Harden have a shot of going deep in the playoffs. And these are the players that dropped 14 days ago, but Howard and Harden have already rebounded, and it's probably, I guess that's a pun, rebounded, but it's probably because people are seeing success with the Rockets and people still have faith with the Lakers in the finals, and so their cards should rebound, while guys like John Stockton are on the list twice, Jonathan Isaac is on the list twice. And the way I'm interpreting this data now is if I see guys that have been dropping 2 weeks in a row, knowing the boom of the sports card market, that's when I start to feel like, okay, their rock bottom is probably nearby unless there's some reason in the news that they're going to drop even more. But if there's not reason to believe they'll go down more, then it's probably they're getting close to the rock bottom. Now, a lot of these players are Hall of Famers or they're on teams that aren't going to be relevant in the playoffs. They might not be relevant until next year, so it could go down even more. But you see here, 54%, minus 31. John Stockton, obviously there's no real movement now that the last dance has ended, so it is what it is. I don't expect him to be relevant, but that's the kind of thing I like to notice is who's been dropping for a few weeks straight, because that could be a good time to see where their bottom is. If we move on to football, in the last 7 days, look at this, the biggest drop has just been 6.8%, and that is very little. Obviously, there's not much news with football except for a couple opt-outs, but a lot of players are either going up in value, which you see here, they're going up like crazy, or they're just not losing much. And if you compare that to 14 days ago, you'll see that that's where there was some real movement. Cam Newton dropped a ton, mostly because he gained so much in the weeks prior from being picked up by New England. But overall, a lot of NFL players are going up, and I feel like without reason, as long as we have a season until the beginning of the year, the season in like the next month, we're just going to see prices rise. So take a look here, see what makes sense to you. Cam Newton may have had his bottom, because you see he's only gone down 6.3% the last 7 days after a 30% plunge. That means that Cam, in my mind, could be right there at his bottom point. So if you like Cam Newton, that could be a great time to get in. Going on to baseball, a lot of drops in baseball, a lot of drops right here. Some prospects are dropping. And the two guys I noticed, you see Miguel Cabrera recently, Austin Riley and Mookie Betts, they just dropped like crazy. And if you take a look, this is the last 7 days, and then I compare to the last 14 days, Riley and Betts are the two guys that are on both of these lists. And I don't know a thing about baseball, that's up for you to determine and use your own strategy, your own logic to determine if that's a good time to buy. But there's a lot more drops in baseball than there are in the other sports, which tells me if you believe this is the bottom, which it could be a great time to buy for either next season or later on in the season. The last thing I want to show you is the cards that have dropped the most, just so you guys have an idea as to what's going on and why, because you guys might know the why a lot more than me. But Juan Soto, Trae Young, Ken Griffey, Barry Sanders, Rui Hachimura, Pete Alonso, Trae Young, again, Ja Morant, even Keston Hiura. These are the guys that have dropped 30 to 40 or 50% in this last week. So whether these are cards that you're interested in or not, what's really great is just to understand the thought process as to why some of these players are going down. Obviously, if I go over to basketball here, the ones that are dropping are not, in the last week, none of them are expected to go deep into the playoffs, so that makes sense. While I'd imagine guys that are going to make a big playoff run are having good numbers. Anthony Davis is still on fire after all this time as well. But anyway, I am putting this together in an email, so this is going to be coming out to to my subscribers earlier, all the analysis. If this is something that you would like to get ahead of time, go to the comebackcardinvestor.com and sign up for my weekly newsletter, where I will be sharing this information with you a day or two before this video comes out. My goal is to get better and better with this analysis as I get more and more familiar with market movers, so I could pass on some of these opportunities for you. You could apply your own logic on the players and the teams that you follow the most and make a move that works for your investing strategy. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know what you would like more of in the future in these types of videos, what insight you would really help you on your investing journey, and I'll see you in the next video.